The Fabelmans is directed by Steven Spielberg. It stars Gabrielle LaBelle, Michelle Williams and Paul Dano. And in Spielberg's new movie, young Sammy Fabelman has a video camera and starts to gain an interest in movies after seeing The Greatest Show on Earth. He attempts to try and find a way into the movie industry and get his dream job as a director. Now, if you watched my last video, you'll know that Steven Spielberg is my favourite director. I love his movies so much. He's made some of the best movies ever made. I was so excited to see this movie. This is technically a 2022 movie, but over here, this year. So, I'm counting it as 2023. And I'm happy to say that this movie was 100% worth the wait. I really did love this movie. I don't think it's his best film or anything. I mean, he's got plenty of amazing films, but yeah, this is probably the best movie I've seen of the year so far. I think the best thing about this movie is that it's not just about a little boy trying to get into the movie industry. It's about how his work and his passion affects his family life and how he deals with it. You know, there is a twist in the middle of the movie which was really shocking, really heartbreaking, and that basically plays into the latter half of the movie. It's a big plot point. And it works, you know. This guy who really wants to just make movies, be a director, you know, he's enjoying it, it's his hobby. And then he has to deal with this shocking reality. Also, his father is a genius, he keeps moving, so it means he has to make new friends. What if they don't accept him for who he is? You know, these are all perfectly, really interesting conflicts. This movie's message is well about overcoming the odds, overcoming the struggles, getting to your goal. You can do it. Really cool message, good message to send. It's portrayed very well in this movie. With all the conflicts that are happening to Sammy, you know, you feel for this kid. You know, you want him to succeed. And while the ending is very on the nose, I will say that it doesn't leave much for interpretation, because after the last scene, you kind of just know what's happened after the movie. And I really think that's a really solid ending to me. You know, I don't need to see a big montage of him making movies, making successful films. I don't need to see that, because it's kind of just known by the last scene. And yeah, I don't mind that. I'm usually not a big fan of endings like that, but in this case, I thought it worked really well. This movie will probably make you cry. It certainly made me cry a couple of times. And it's helmed by some amazing performances. Michelle Williams is fantastic in this. And can I just say, am I the only one that's just noticed she was in Halloween H2O? I never knew that until now. Paul Dano is also great in this as well. He is a great actor. I think he's fantastic. Even Gabrielle LaBelle, I thought he played a really good role as Sammy. Especially in the latter half of the movie. Thought it was really good. But of course, Steven Spielberg brings his A game with the visuals. His direction is just beautiful. He doesn't have to film an action scene. There is like a couple fist fights, but I'm sure it's called them action scenes. They're mainly more squabbles. But yeah, just his direction as a whole is beautiful in this. I really did like the last shot. That's a little callback to an earlier scene in the film. Make sure to listen to it, because you'll see what I mean. But yeah, his direction really shines through. Just makes this film visually beautiful. And also, John Williams did the score for this film. And, you know, it's no surprise that it's a great score. You know, he's the best musical composer for film, in my opinion. And yeah, it's really good classical music. Fits the tone of the movie and the setting. This one we go for like mid-1950s to early 1960s. Fits the time period, fits the tone very well of the movie. The only complaint I have with this film is that some scenes did drag a bit too long. I do feel there was a few scenes which just didn't need to be as long as they were. I felt they could have been cut down by a minute or a few seconds, so that's pretty much the only complaint I have with this movie. But overall, The Fabelmans is a very touching story about a boy overcoming the obstacles and finally getting the career that he wants. I think it's helmed by some really likeable characters. Even ones that do make mistakes, they are fairly likeable as well, and you do understand. Amazing visuals, fantastic performances, a great score. The only point I have is that the pacing is dumbed down a bit by a few scenes that last too long. But apart from that, I have no complaints with this movie. I would highly suggest seeing The Fabelmans. And for me, it's going to get a 9 out of 10. January has actually been a pretty decent month. I've not actually found a bad movie this month yet. So yeah, well done Hollywood, you've actually succeeded for once. It's beautiful. So next video we're going to be ranking all the films that I've seen in January 2023, including films that I have first seen this year. So you'll probably see a film from back in 2017 which I watched this year for the first time, just to make the list a bit more longer. But guys, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave your thoughts on the Fabelmans in the comments. I'd love to hear them. Have a good day, and see you later.